Long before history was written, men believed that war was shaped by fate and watched by the gods. In those days, a single choice could condemn an entire city. At a wedding of the gods, a golden apple was thrown among them. Upon it were written the words, "To the fairest." Hera, Athena, and Aphrodite each claimed it. Unable to decide, they turned to a mortal prince of Troy named Paris. Each goddess offered him a reward. Power and dominion were promised by Hera. Wisdom and victory in war were offered by Athena. But Aphrodite promised love, the most beautiful woman in the world. Paris chose love. The woman was Helen of Sparta, wife of King Menelaus. When Paris took her to Troy, honor was broken and war became inevitable. Across Greece, kings answered the call. Bound by ancient oaths, driven by pride and duty, they gathered the greatest army the world had ever seen. 1,000 ships crossed the sea toward Troy. Among them were Agamemnon, the king of kings, Odysseus, the cunning strategist, Ajax, the mighty warrior, and Achilles, the greatest fighter ever born. Troy stood behind walls said to be built by the gods themselves. For years the Greeks attacked, and for years Troy endured. Beneath its walls, champions met in brutal combat. Spears shattered shields, arrows darkened the sky, and the gods themselves chose sides. Hector, prince of Troy, stood as the city's shield. He fought not for glory, but for his people, his family, and his home. Each day he walked through the gates knowing he might not return, and yet he never turned away from battle. Achilles was unlike any warrior who came before him. Born of a goddess and trained for war, he moved through the battlefield like death itself. When he fought, armies collapsed. Fear followed his name. But Achilles carried a flaw more dangerous than any blade: his pride. When Agamemnon dishonored him, Achilles withdrew from the war. Without him, the Greek army weakened, and Troy began to push back. In Achilles' absence, his closest companion, Patroclus, entered the battle wearing Achilles' armor. The Trojans believed the great warrior had returned. Hector confronted him, and Patroclus fell. When Achilles learned of his death, grief consumed him. Rage replaced mercy. He returned to battle, not as a hero, but as vengeance. Before the walls of Troy, Achilles faced Hector. The city watched in silence as fate closed in. The duel was swift and merciless. Hector fell, and with him fell Troy's last hope. Still, the city did not fall. Years passed. Warriors died. The war dragged on without end. Prophecies whispered that Troy could not be taken by strength alone. Victory would come through deception. One morning, the Trojans awoke to silence. The Greek army was gone. Their ships had vanished. In their place stood a massive wooden horse left at the gates of Troy. Some warned it was a trap. Others believed it was an offering to the gods. Against all warnings, the horse was dragged inside the city. That night, Greek warriors emerged from its hollow body. They opened the gates. The army returned. Fire consumed Troy. Screams echoed through the streets. Temples collapsed, and blood soaked the stone. The city that had stood for centuries fell in a single night, not by force, but by cunning. Troy was destroyed, but its story did not die. It became a warning carved into legend that pride invites ruin, that even the strongest walls can fall, and that war, once begun, spares no one. Empires rise, cities burn, heroes fade into memory, but conflict remains, timeless.